I'm Bruce Palmer, former Director of Facilities for Jackson County, Missouri, and I was on staff at the time that Universal Construction restored the downtown Jackson County Courthouse. Well, when we got the bids for the restoration of the downtown Jackson County Courthouse, we were delighted that Universal was one of the lower bids because we had already had previous experience with them out in Independence for the restoration of that courthouse there in Independence, the courthouse on the square. So there was really no question about how qualified they were. We knew they were qualified and experienced and had worked with us in the past. The Truman Courthouse out in Independence is actually a building that's on the list of historic buildings that's maintained by the state of Missouri. So any renovations to that, restorations, has to be handled and approved by the state historical office. So Universal worked very closely with them to make sure we were in keeping with all those the caveats and the important things that we need to keep track of during those kind of projects. So that was a successful project with them. It also helped with the experience then. Having that experience with Universal, we knew that when we came to the downtown courthouse that they would bring those qualities of excellence to our project. The building process with Universal was very enjoyable. It was a complex project. We had a lot of scope of work to do, and it ranged all the way from re-roofing the building to restoration of the masonry. We had inscriptions that needed to be recarved or carved into new stone and placed back in place. And there was a chance for a lot of unforeseen conditions because we were restoring the courthouse. First time since the mid-30s, 1930s was when the building was opened. First time we've been doing a major restoration of the project. So all the way from window replacement, re-roofing as I mentioned, stone, new landscaping, new parking, sustainable planting. It was a comprehensive project. We were very pleased with the superintendent and the project management team from Universal. John Shortall was great to work with. We've actually stayed in touch since that project was completed some time ago, and he's very thorough. They had a schedule, a master schedule to keep track of all of the work that needed to be done at the courthouse. The interesting thing about the project too, which added to its complexity, was that we kept it open during this whole time. So court was in session all throughout the building. We had administrative offices, and all the functions of the courthouse had to be scheduled with the work that was going on at the exterior. John was great to work with the circuit court people, and we coordinated all that work very closely so that there were no mishaps. And the project proceeded on time, on schedule, and on budget. The commitment that we sensed from Universal on this project was amazing. They realized as well as we did that this was a historic renovation and probably wouldn't be done again for the next 70 years. So the quality, the commitment, and the integrity that we had for that project was amazing. And one example of that was an unforeseen condition that we encountered when we removed decorative grills from the upper floors where the jails used to be. Those needed to be removed, restored, and then refastened to the building. And in the process of that, we found an original color that had been painted over through the years, which it was a yellow color that matched the Mankato stone medallions. When people look at the building, you'll see some yellow stone medallions up there. That's the quality of that stone. It's not painted stone, it is that stone color. The grills now match that, which restores it to its original intent when it was opened back up in the 30s. So John Shortall, Universal, their commitment to the project was very evident. They just didn't paint over the old grills. They made them look as if it was original from the 30s. I'd be happy to recommend Universal Construction to any owner that wants someone that's going to be thorough, has a commitment to quality, and really takes the owner's perspective in a project with keeping things on time and on budget.